Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze. It's the Carcassonne Champions League qualification Q1. So the runner-ups of national qualifications and some third-place finishers as well. The first match today will be DrCaiHan2020 versus Natpeera-ch from China and Thailand respectively. Looks like a rather difficult route with either Terran or Mingo in their way in the upper semifinals. And later on, I might cover Vadzimir stack. Depends on how fast the first duel will go, as the second one starts in 30 minutes. For now, let's focus on DrCaiHan and Natpeera. They've played 3 times earlier this year, resulting in a 2-1 for Natpeera, although looks like all live games and just a coincidence that these two were played within a few days. At least I would guess so. So let's focus on today. They haven't started yet. Then let me take a quick peek at DrCaiHan's rating evolution. So up top here, you'll see quick ascent to the master ranks, top rating in the higher 700s, a few peaks over 700 as well, lately too. So even though 2 of the 3 matches earlier this year were won by Natpeera, I'd still think DrCaiHan should be the favorite in this match. Natpeera, I think, has a top rating of around 660. Oh, here it is, max elo 668. Is a rather new player, although with already 3,000 games under their belt. That's experience enough to beat a master for sure. Likely this year was their top rating earlier this year, just a few months ago actually. So overall, I'd say DrCaiHan should be the favorite, although just, let me say 50-50, maybe 60%, and that's more or less just within the error and could be countered by being starting player in 2 games for Natpeera, for example. So Natpeera is online, and I think we still have. Here goes. Looks like tournaments and tournaments on BGA sometimes are had later than we would hope. Now there's a scoreboard as well. Hey, Kopnik. How am I? I don't know. A bit stressed. But now we'll take a look at Carcassonne. Standard moves so far. Interesting monastery decision. That's fine. Annoying piece for Natpeera in the early game. If your opponent's starting player then drawing this one is totally annoying, giving them options to attack the city immediately. But if I were DrCaiHan, I might have just taken this road here and didn't care for this huge city for now at least. But then in some cases your opponent gets a city tile, you don't get anything to attack, they get the Dorito, you don't get anything to attack, and they close this city, so they opt for better safe than sorry. giving this possibly 8-point road back, but the prospect is blocked over here. Blue blocks options to attack this city from the left side, so mostly their option to block to attack this, but they also try to exert pressure on this square here, which yellow would love to fill. Yellow, on the other hand, just closes their city, hoping to limit this square to, no, that's the wrong piece, to the quadruple crossroad. So in that case, they would have a mini battle of these two meeples with 3 points for the road and quite likely 7, maybe 8 points in the end for yellow. And then they wouldn't really care whether the crossroad gets drawn or not. The problem is, though, if you create this road here and your opponent gets the crossroad, well, then it would be a 9 points for the monastery and 9 points for the road. So not the best mini battle. Yellow connects, but blue further complicates city building by adding this cow up top. Yellow still protects against limitation to the dagger over here. Although in that case, I might have even preferred this option, just leaving this here open, because you already have this problematic square on the left side. So I'd rather risk this limitation, which still would give 2 options to close the city on the left side, and hope to somehow close it another way. But now it's more or less dead and will become a ruin. 3 starting tiles are gone. Yellow would need the 4th one over here, but this one is killed immediately by blue. DrCaiHan with the second monastery in the game. Stacking is rather reckless. Again, 3 starting tiles gone. So a limitation from the right side like this would be pretty severe. Therefore, they go up top to create the same block to their opponent and are successful. So we have ourselves the first critical tile of this game. They even opt to place, to occupy the monastery there, which definitely is nice. Gives them the chance to again win the second mini battle, this time against the meeple that's capped at 1 point, or would be capped at 1 point once you kill it. Blue doesn't mind this monastery spot, because if this square gets blocked, it would block or kill both monasteries. DrCaiHan quite likely will now kill this one here. Doesn't. Goes for blocking this road, which was fine, I guess. But having the chance to kill this one here, well, we'll see if this will come back again, bite them. Yeah. Liberating your monastery while also taking 2 points seems to be a nice option. Yeah, it gives back an interesting city starter to maybe your opponent, but still, I mean, you could even meeple that one if you were frightened, but this here is way more effective, efficient. Natpeera could add this cap here while also attacking this road. And they go for the simple approach of closing their city, which is okay, but leaves a bit of upside behind. Still think this city could be closed, and in some cases might even be closed without yellow being able to intervene from one of the 3 options. Now the risk with this city pays off for yellow. They take it. And even if they might not close it, 6 points are still 6 points. Plus these 2, so 8 points in total. And they will still expand this. Even if it gets blocked from the side or the bottom, there would be still 2 daggers left to close it. So the question for Natpeera now is, will you... I don't think not doing anything about this city is the right choice. But given they are behind by... I don't get it. By 20 points. First of this and then this. This actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would have changed these 2 pieces. Because the thing about this option here to attack is if your opponent gets some cap to close it and harass your city at the same time, then they might double down with straight or crossroad from the top. And then you'd be limited to the last remaining right-handed dagger up top and another city plus road piece from the bottom. And if you attack with a cap, on the other hand, you at least have no problems in your backyard. And then at -20 it was, a shielded tile has to be placed in your city. Have to grab all the options that are out there. Same now, I wouldn't... maybe they have to connect because there's still one splitter out there, but if this score a 9-point field isn't enough, they need meeples, so I would risk it. Go for your own city, hope to draw one of the 2 cows before your opponent gets the splitter. Not sure that's the better way. Leaves this here, and pretty sure DrCaiHan will play this without a meeple. Well, the direct approach works, of course, might even be better, because then you could add something from the top, and even if blue protects against that one, this would leave another option, and If blue happens to close this one over here, they'd at least give you another option to block or attack the city. Whereas the option I proposed would give back the splitter option to blue. So this here is a bigger spanner in blue's works. And there's, of course, still a splitter for yellow, and if that hits, then it should be game over. It doesn't, and now blue has the great chance of taking this one over, unless yellow would have used this cap to protect the city. They don't. Blue has to leave this here open. Apart from the city, their best shot at scoring big in this game. Yeah, there's this 8-point monastery spot and a 9-point field, but there's a 6-point field on the other side as well. And they take the 9-pointer right now. Let's see if yellow immediately counters on the other side or just scores 2 points while also addressing blue's road situation at the bottom, which could be killed with one move. And blue can't really defend here, because then they would take away their attacking option against this square, or limiting it at least, because now they would need one of the 2 remaining left-handed daggers to still attack this city. And I think in this case, yellow could go for the field, but why do anything about this field if you can just outscore your opponent and run away with a fieldless win here? Instead, they use this field. It's okay-ish, but could turn problematic once these connect. Maybe build up with 2 more cities, and then blue might just take the 15 or 12-point field over, and then these meeple didn't score anything except maybe for the 1 point for this monastery. So far it looks good for blue, but yellow gets the dagger. Let's see if they see this and attack it. With still 3 pieces to connect out of 10 tiles out there, I think they have, and if they successfully manage to execute that one, it should be game over. Plus there's no way for blue to attack here. The only option would be something like this, and that's rather unlikely, because blue needs to go for their city anyway. Yeah, blue tries to prevent the connection. Yellow will defend, quite likely like this here, giving them 2 outs to still connect, plus still 2 caps to close the city. Maybe not with 1 meeple, but with 2, definitely taking the field. They could also arrest this city or kill this option. Plus 13, plus 8 now. Yellow connects, and there's still an option for blue to close this one. They just have to go for it and hope that yellow would get one of the Doritos, which they couldn't use to attack or harass this city. Starting tile, though, from the top would limit this one here to only 2 options of completion. either drawing the Dorito and then this remaining vanilla, or the other way around. And even if blue were able to close this one for, right now it's at 9 points, so if closed would be worth 20. That's just 11 points, which doesn't cut it at -19. So what do you do if you're yellow? I'd say still go for the city. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Because first of all, you leave the dagger for your opponent to get to close the city immediately, and then if they get one of the Doritos, you give them 2 outs to close this city instead of 1. So likely mixed up the dagger orientations. Yeah. And Alexi concurs. Hi, by the way. In the end, it won't matter because the lead's just too big. Yeah, I wouldn't say better because 100% are 100%, right? I think it's just a stylistic approach. Whether you try to prevent your opponent from scoring or scoring a few points somewhere. If both lead to a win in all permutations, this should be the same. No, it wasn't 100% block. Sure not, but it didn't matter. Because I think there was no permutation, of course, without more hefty blunders, let's say. If yellow just punts all their tiles somewhere and doesn't score anything, doesn't matter. So 12 points in the end, 20 minutes. Well, and let's see if DrCaiHan manages to win the second one as well. And if so, we might even be able to catch Vadzimir Stack's first game, at least the second half of it. Yeah. Just have to quickly fix something. Still doesn't work, okay. Now it works. So yeah, 100% win. I meant. Do I know whether Natpeera is Pakshi's brother? No, I don't. And I don't think so, actually. I think one of them would have mentioned this somehow. Yellow limited to left-handed daggers, and one is just gone. It sure ain't for Swiss, so you might be onto something there. For those who don't know, Charloncourt is Pakshi's, what is it, surname, right? So blue did go for the loop, also hoping to kill or at least threaten this square. they weren't successful. Yellow could defend, but the same goes for blue on the left side. So both now hoping for daggers with better chances for blue, as there are still all three daggers in all three right-handed daggers in the deck and only the two left-handed ones available. Plus, blue city, of course, is worth way more than yellow's. Blue with their two stacked monasteries, Ukraine, or backwards Ukraine? Is it really Ukraine if the city was there before the second monastery? I don't think so. So anyway, Ukrainian technique against the monasteries. And what I wanted to say actually is, looks quite good for blue in this game. Wow. Nice. So yellow goes for the obstruction and blue just turns the tables on yellow. And yellow with another obstruction. Nice. So now yellow has a lost mini battle, 2 versus 2 meeples, and there's no way they will win this one against the monasteries. Also, they need the dagger here and there to liberate their meeples. And they are down on the virtual scoreboard, 18 points. Now the road is dead anyway, and I guess their best shot at winning this game would be to just outdraw blue, and yellow needs the 3 daggers. So I peg their winning chances at maybe 20%, but they have more meeples in hand right now. Even though it's rather easy for blue to liberate this one and very likely to close the city, but you never know when one of the daggers might hit. Could be on your last turn, and then it doesn't really help you a lot. So meanwhile, let's figure out what Natpeera is. Maybe Natpeera is a given name. Then Alexi's theory might be onto something. No. Could be. But I don't find a lot. So I'll ask Natpeera later. Hey, dude. You shouldn't be watching this. One dagger down. One dagger left to go for yellow to close their city. And also quite likely take this field, which could be extended to the bottom. Yeah, busted. Exactly. But I think if Natpeera would have been watching this stream, they would have played differently in game 1, at least hopefully, because at least 1 or 2 decisions should have been maybe taken another way. This wasn't English. Well, I'm sorry. And another city ripe to be completed. with the next cap. Defense over here, leaving still 3 caps to close it, and notably given yellow, not giving yellow the chance to limit both cities to the same tile. And now it's actually 4 tiles to close it due to this cap. Before there were 2 splitters and 1 vanilla. Now we have the 2 splitters plus 2 extenders. This cap might be a tad extra. Wow. No, just do this. Wait for the next Dorito. There are enough Doritos out there. Give your monastery a better chance of completion. And don't risk this block. So this might be one of the nails in Yellow's coffin. Yeah, it's a tad unlucky because there actually were only 3 tiles to execute this block, and 2 blue would use over here, quite likely. Although maybe not. Maybe they would use an extender over there as well, just to kill Yellow's meeple. Hi, wow. Or is it drow? I think it's drow, right? So this here, you can't survive these sequences here. I mean, sure, it's going or gunning for a bigger city, but 2 points versus the risk of getting killed, I don't know. Would have been more understandable to me if it were a shielded Dorito, but even then I would have gone for the bigger city as suggested. It's closed, okay. I can live with close. Good enough for me. Okay, so the J at the beginning was right. Well, I'll checking Forvo later. So blue closes their city, and this game is over. Yellow is toast. Score doubled by blue will be in the end a pretty lopsided win on this level at least. And let's check. Vadzimir and Aki are already playing. Then let me split the display here. I think it should revert. Yep, it does. Yeah, go get some popcorn and bring me some. So let's, for now, take a look at Vadzimir and Aki's decks beginning. So left side, sorry for the noise. I should refrain from doing that with the mic in front of me. Yeah, already pretty significant limitation of blue's city there. 1 dagger is gone. So Vadzimir might now just kill this, even if it comes at the cost of using a monastery. Interesting choice of meepling the field there. Would not have been mine. I just would have taken the road, and upon completion of this road, might consider taking the field. I don't think it's urgent in any way, shape, or form. Also, of course, they could have used the monastery over here to defend their city, which had better chances of completion in comparison to blues anyway, because it's more or less the same situation we had in the other game. 3 daggers here, 2 daggers there. And would have been a nice monastery spot as well, with this possible 5-point road on top. The problem being, though, this city on the left side. Ah, damn it. This isn't a farmer, this is a road meeple. Yeah, that's, I guess some of you. No, it was different. This is due to me using the old art edition and the players or the game code using the second art edition to place meeples. But one should be able to see the difference between these meeples. Okay, so I think if Alexi hasn't gotten the wow, I don't know, down, then it's no shame if I can't pronounce it either. Meanwhile, both with city projects on the left side, while our main protagonist exchange dead rubber moves. So in the end, score a bit closer, but still 37 points. I don't know. What will he do? Score 3 points somewhere, 4 points over here. So 33, that's still lopsided. Aki attacks Yellow City. Nice draw for them getting the splitter here. Getting out of this predicament. So still might consider this wide open. Yes, yellow has a 9-point lead, but 6 points are field from a field, so this is bound to be tied later in the game. So let's check if these two have started their third game, and looks like they just have. Natpeera-ch is a starting player this time. Takes, of course, the road, doesn't go for this one here, which would be dump anyway. But just in case you wanna ever try to set a record of most discarded tiles, starting off with this one here is definitely a good idea. In this case, they don't, rightfully so. First city to yellow, nicely controlling blue's road with the cow here. First monastery to blue so far, nothing out of the ordinary. Even that one here, as annoying as it is, because more often than not this happens. What else shall you do? Add a cap next to your opponent's monastery? For sure not. Again, not a fan. This time it's way more likely that your opponent gets a cow or maybe an extender and threaten to kill 2 of your meeples with just a few moves in the early game. So in this case, just equalizing the loose city part on the right side would have been my move, at least. Natpeera doesn't care for the safety of their city, gives yellow an easy defense, or many cases easy defense, a lot of road pieces still out there, while endangering their city. I don't know. Why not just wait for the Rito there? Turn it this way and then hope to draw a straight, or hope that your opponent draws a straight. Well, well, well. And the good doctor, will they save their city here? Or will they hunt for a blue scalp over here? They saved the city. And take a road, which is nice. Now they just need a starting tile over here and hope to dodge one of the regular monasteries or vanillas, which would kill city and lose road as well. Yeah, me neither. Are you talking about the straight as well? Because that here wasn't great too, actually. Limited this city to the starting tile, sure, but there are still 3 starting tiles out there, and then if yellow gets one, well, your road is more or less dead. Yeah, still road monasteries left, but it's way too complicated. And on the other hand, without this straight, you could use a horse to close your road and then would still have 2 options to kill or attack the city if needed. Yeah, sure, you would give a few options back to yellow, for example, Dorito vanilla combination like this, or the 2 roses, but at least then you would get your meeple back. Or if the Dorito could build a bigger road. Well, blue extends their city, yellow attacks it. Still 1 diagonal splitter left. And the game is pretty close. The biggest feature could become the city, else it definitely is lose 9-point field for now, soon to become a 12-point field quite likely. Oh yeah, the doctor had the road monastery, and I talked about something else. I would have done this here for sure. I mean, why not? 3 caps left. Yes, 2 points to your opponent. Who cares if you close this one? Yeah. So These two masters in the chat concur, so I can't be wrong with this one here. Bam! And now your city is dead. And your opponent also added another city to their field anyway. And all you got is 1 point. That doesn't cut it. Yep, blue had to limit this square to a sinister hamster right now, but adding a cap. Why did they have to? Yeah, because this road here extends all the way to the monastery. Also adding a cap on their field, which definitely is a nice option. Gives some backdoor options to kill Yellow's monastery. Indirect defense with the vanilla, you mean? Or which move? Draw. Yellow takes one option to attack the field, and the better one in this case. Sorry, my chat window doesn't scroll. Yes, that one. So indirect defense. Like this, like that, maybe. I don't think so. I think that's okay. It takes away easy options to attack. But actually, it's a bit more complicated than that. The problem is with indirect defense, no matter how you'd execute it, there would still be a handful of blocking, killing tiles available. So Doritos, for example, some cases, even cows. So I wouldn't be averse to this one. But turns out yellow gets the monastery. What the fuck is this? Is this a misclick? Is this... Yeah. This could be throwing the game. Oh, shame. Okay. So the field is tight by now. Yellow added a second farmer. Oops. Which has two options to connect to the main field, and then both would be at 1 meeple each. While yellow is also waiting to draw the quadruple city. Doesn't look like it could be a forced one with open city parts strewn all over the map. And blue takes their chances of crawling around this one. It's not impossible. But it's unlikely as there are tiles like the cow or extenders just to kill all hopes of blues farmers here. So we'll see now that this one is killed. Will yellow clamp down on this, which doesn't really hurt this square, because the block from the top was available anyway. Although this here would give yellow a 50-50 to connect, whereas this option wouldn't. Blue kills one connection. Yellow killed another connection before blue's move. And here's the dagger, which opens on this one here very, very wide. Tsai quite likely will defend now. Whoa. Okay. Well, if your opponent blocks, then it would be a 50-50 anyway, because there's still a dagger left. Now this here quite likely will be shared. 6-point move for yellow, possible 9-point move if they take the field down in the end. So he opts to not give blue more meeples, trading the 6 points and leaving blue with the 1 meeple in hand. This here is nice counting. Does the same as the Dorito from the top would have done, as there's no curve left in the game. There's only the dagger. Yellow is in defense over here, and at -16, even the field isn't enough for blue. So blue can't attack yet. And by the way, this option is still alive. Blue just needs to get their hands on the vanilla and then either splitter or dagger, plus another connection piece, of course. And the nice thing about that would be scoring points on the way. And they might just leave this here to chance, hoping to draw the dagger. So did I end my thought at -16 and with the 15-point field, they just can't add another farmer right now because the field is not enough. Setting up this here is risky business, because there isn't just the dagger left, but also a starting tile. But you have to do what you have to do if you need to score a lot of points, and setting up an 8-point flip in your favor, as you could use 2 caps over here, whereas yellow quite likely would use the dagger up top with these 4 added points. Definitely not the worst idea. But the flip goes the wrong way, or Okay. Taking away this option for blue and is there still a chance for blue? 22 points down. I don't think so, because even if they would get all the necessary pieces to theoretically connect to the main field, looks like there is an option. But they would have needed the dagger now and yellow to draw a straight, with which they couldn't do anything about the connection prospects. It doesn't work out. Oh, it still could. It still could. Now it's dead. No matter which move yellow executes in the end, both lead to this square being dead. And if they don't, well then blue could still connect. So let's see, will we witness another blunder by DrCaiHan or not? Not. So he'll move on to the second round, which in this case, and a Q1 tournament is the semi-final. And looks like the other game was just won by Vadzimir with a 5-point monastery on the last turn. So we'll be able to take a look at the second game in a few seconds. If I remember correctly, DrCaiHan's next opponent will be, was it Terran PL and Mingo? Yeah, Terran PL or Mingo, so Terran being the favorite, that definitely will be an interesting match. Congratulations. And Natpeera will play in the losers bracket versus either Terran PL and Mingo as well, of course. So let's now focus on Vadzimir and Aki stack, Aki stack, whatever. First match did go to Vadzimir, and according to the seeding, he should be the favorite in this match. But the problem with this seeding is Aki stack was the top rated player or second rated player in the unseeded part with a top rating of 670 something. So definitely no slouch here. And they just started their second. So here we go. First test of the game, where to place the curve, left, right. I don't know. Sometimes center. I hope not. Okay, it's a move. But why? Why not take the road? It's the beginning of the game. There are so many options to continue this road rather efficiently Why not just take it? Can debate long and hard whether to point it upwards or downwards. The usual consensus should be pointing it upwards, but not going for the road, just putting it there. I don't get it. So Vadzimir takes 2 cities. Oh, he was disturbed for a second there. Sounded like someone wanted to destroy our house. Yeah, Aki, what do you do? This here? Plus meepling the cap? Why not? I mean, it looks iffy, but in most cases, it shouldn't be. One of the daggers is gone, so the worst that could happen would be something like this here. Which could be devastating, but come on, you've lost the first game. A little bit of risk is definitely not a bad choice. Now the only question is, do you meeple this farm or not? Not meepling it is, because there might be a limitation of this one happening, whereas the other side grows. So just save the meeple for later. There will be chances to attack this field anyway. Nice monastery by yellow, controlling blue city and blue's monastery. They just take winning this mini battle here, quite likely. Blue starts a new city far away from the action, also trying to exert pressure on yellow's road, thereby limiting it to something bit annoying. Still enough tiles out there, so any block won't be that severe. I don't know. I might have used this option or another place. Maybe even this one here. Nah, this gives back this option, which could limit both cities. And just waited for a road piece to at least limit blue city there to more than just needing a vanilla, of which all 5 at this point in time were still in a deck. Now this is the first for yellow. Equalize this one to prevent the block from the right side, maybe. Continuing this city will be annoying anyway, and the best option to not give back attacking possibilities to yellow would be using a double Dorito approach. With 7 still out there, it's not unlikely to be successful. And that's how you use a cow against an opponent's city. That was just a few minutes before, looking like it would be closed with just one city cap. Now it needs a starting tile, and there's only one left, plus another city cap with a road. And therefore, yellow just opts to close their road up top before that one gets limited as well, while also creating indirect problems for blue's city up top. This way would lead to blue needing the one horse to continue their city project. So for now, it looks a bit better for Vadzimir. As the meeple majority for now, with these monasteries and this city, should be in the long run as well. Now they go for this when there's this horse in their backyard. I mean, one cow and your city is more or less dead, except if you draw the diagonal splitter. Not a fan. Definitely not a fan. But they get away with it. Meantime, blue closed their city in the middle. They quite likely have to do something about this city now, and there's only a question whether you would attack it or whether you block it to the 50-50. They go for the block and quite likely will take this city with the next appropriate tile to completely kill yellow's city project there. That's nice by yellow. Blocking the unclaimed Dorito just to prevent blue from having a bigger advantage once they claim this, or once they could claim this. So basically, if blue would have used the vanilla, then yellow could have blocked this immediately to a 50-50. So this here more or less is an incentive for blue to not use caps here. But they found another productive way to use a cap, and quite likely should defend now with 3 cows still in the deck. Yeah, more precise this way. Why leave road end out there if you need one yourself? Yeah, Alexi's right about that one. Not doing anything about this situation here. Definitely not to be advised. If yellow gets that one, this would be pretty decisive, quite likely game deciding. No matter what happens to this city, actually. Although blue still has good chances if they manage to kill this and close this one. They just need to get meeples back from their monasteries, from the road, maybe block this city and then take over the 9, maybe 12-point field. Yeah, sure. Leaving only 2 caps instead of 7. So why not? Reduces the chances of blue to successfully close that city drastically. Blue still doesn't get a road and can't liberate this meeple. Not sure I would have gone for this move. This here might have been the better one, giving only 4 direct defenses back to yellow, because the 5th one they wouldn't have used for defense. But this here also takes care that if monasteries are to be liberated sometime in the future, then it'll be at least these 2. But Aki just got the magic tile. Not just dodge this bullet, but also are finally able to liberate their road. Nah. That's one definition. The other one would be luck or randomness. So now with 2 daggers still in a deck, plus this 9-point field here, once you close this city, if this hits, then it's game over for blue, and yellow for sure should hope to draw a curve before, just to connect the left and the right side to prevent at least the farmer over here. But even then, cities at 8 closed 18, so plus 10 points. Are 10 points, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, extending your field up top is okay, because you could potentially add even 3 cities to it. But again, it gives back this chance, and then it's not just a 10-point move, but it's a 19-point move. And that might just be too much in this game. Yeah, he could have gone for this one, I guess. Alexi's thinking about this one. Yeah. So hoping to draw the curve to unite the field. Also, at least having straights to claim a 3-point road plus a 9-point field. So 12-point move as well. Instead, the conservative approach, going for a loop road at -18. That's a heavy miss, actually. I mean, yes, you only have 1 piece each, but the 50-50 is unblockable. There still would have been a 4-point bonus of the road, and this 12-point move on the for the 3-point road would be blockable, sure, but not as easily as you might think. In this case, with all these city tiles out there, there would be a lot of defenses available for yellow. That said, this option is still present for the one player who draws a straight. I don't think blue will go for it at +9, but they could. Anything else? Like this? Well, I don't know, man. Just 50-50 flip for the curves, but this would at least take away this meeple. Yeah, blue just goes the scoring route. 9 points for this monastery, net 9 points, that is. These two liberated, this gets 1, this is worth 8. 4 for the road. And at 21, even the curve wouldn't help, even if yellow were somehow able to take over this field. It wouldn't be enough. So yellow's best chance is actually at the top. Drawing the city pieces, taking another field. -15. So this here sure looks nice for Aki. But will they see this? It's a rather unorthodox block. Effective nonetheless. But you'd have to be sure that there are no city plus road pieces left. On the other hand, they would have this field attack here if they wanna go for a 50-50. Although this here might be better, as you wouldn't give yellow the chance to counter your field attack immediately. With tempo, nonetheless, with by closing this city there. But blue found the block. Nice counting there. So we'll get a decider. Or is there any magic bullet I haven't seen here? I think with blue taking this city, there isn't. If it weren't for the extender, there was still hope for yellow by drawing one of the vanillas for a healthy 7 points. Monastery just scores a shoddy 5. Maybe over here. They could actually attack this field with the monastery. 50-50 for 11 points. 9 from the field, 2 from the road. But it doesn't matter, it's just not enough. Well, excuse the hallucination. Why did I think that yellow had the monastery in hand? Well, in this case, with the extender, this 11-point move, or possible 11-point move, sure looks nice. And it works. And because the monastery isn't gone, of course, they don't meeple the 2-point stub here. I just hope to draw the monastery in the end to score 5 points. Marquis 4. Anything better? I only see 3-point options. That's damn it! What the hell am I talking about? They don't have a curve. They have this vanilla in hand. So 3, 3, 3 over here as well. Is there anything else? Oh, up top, 3 points, 3 points here, 3 points everywhere, 5 points for yellows somewhere. And in the end, 5 points for blue. Turns out the flip was rather decisive, and getting this extender at the right time for blue was as well. But the good news is we'll get to witness a decider, and we'll see if this will be as close as these two games were as well. Is this new? That you get moved to the games page from the lobby. If that actually is a feature and works 100% of the time, that would be quite nice. So this time it's Aki starting the game, and sure enough, takes a 2-point road, and why not? Equalizing Yellow City, not letting them have any chances here of running away with it. Going for the more aggressive approach, limiting Yellow City while also creating one of their own. In the end, hoping to somehow kill this square and win a mini battle, and if not, then at least hopefully getting your road completed or helped a lot by yellow. Aki doesn't shy away from using the best monastery spot, even though it's a bit problematic for their city. But in most cases, it's quite safe, as apart from using big city tiles over here, yellow quite likely won't be able to execute a block. But the big city tiles are a huge risk to these features. And not just these two, but these three. And if that, let's say, these two kills were to happen, then this would be quite a good situation for yellow in this game very early on. Meanwhile, a monastery got discarded. So the starting player's advantage is gone. Unless there will be another discard, both will have same number of moves. And yeah, if you attack the road, you're gonna follow through, but exactly leaves this chance here for blue to draw one of the Doritos or cows to indirectly block this city, but it's not dead. There are still two splitters available to get away with it, and therefore blue boss will try to jam a road in there like this, indirectly killing the city because this square is dead and the splitter won't fit here anymore, and that's exactly what happens. On the other hand, yellow threatens blue city, first from the top, then from the bottom. Blue with the luck of the draw, getting a splitter, now thinking whether to meeple the city, and yeah, with two rather easy to liberate, you can, and with a shield on this cow, maybe I would as well. This way it's pretty gutsy, because there are still two options to limit this or to attack it again. Even though it looked problematic, looks like blue will be able to save their monastery up top. More pressure on the city, still two tiles to go, but nothing to directly or indirectly defend here. And there's also no way to create problems for yellow. So if you are attacked and can't defend, then try to wreak havoc on your opponent's features, but in this case, that's just not possible. And with only the one meeple in hand, they opt just to continue the city build here. And now we'll see the kill. This city isn't worth going for the attack right now. Rather the, what is it, sparrow in the hand? Is this an idiom in English as well? I think so. Kill this. It's capped at 4 points. It's a win. Keep blue's meeple disadvantage for the long term. Although this monastery is liberated with one piece, same goes for the city. And then actually the road is easy to liberate. And yellow has the farmer already in place, so it's not set in stone that it should be a meeple disadvantage for blue in this game. Yellow annoying the hell out of blue city up top by dumping a cow there. But blue at least gets this cap to close their city on the left side. Now have taken a healthy 7-point lead by riding on a razor's edge here with only one meeple in hand. And I think they should now liberate the monastery. Yes, it's totally annoying giving back the chance here, and especially with still one dagger to go, which would be devastating. But having the second meeple is so important in this game. There's a city up top which could be attacked again. No. So I don't think that's a wise move. That's a 6-point ruin up until this point, and the quadruple city is still out there, so why not? Blue won't attack this for 6 points. Why cap this now? I'm sure there would have been other options to dump the second cap. Maybe, whoops. Maybe this here, for example, could have been considered leaving the caps on your field for now. We'll see. Blue going for loop road, which is nice. Leaving this up top doesn't matter. All these action up top sets up a juicy monastery square, which is favoring the side with more meeples. So right now it's yellow. Meanwhile, didn't talk about this curve. This, of course, prevents the splitter. So was placed by blue. Yep, here we go. Yellow is hunting for another of blue's road warriors. And blue finally gets to liberate that one, which was on this road for ages. Perfect piece to harass this one, drawing one of the 2 remaining crossroads to limit this here to a crossroad. But they think about taking 3 points somewhere, because blue is ahead by 6. And there are still lots of road pieces out there to kill it or to limit it. Turns out they just knew that blue would draw the crossroad anyway. So I think Vadzimir will take the 8-pointer. Maybe the 7-pointer at the bottom. Yeah, likely the 7-pointer at the bottom. It's way more easily liberated with still monasteries and curves out there. And would you know it, blue gets one of the 2 remaining pieces to liberate this hypothetical monastery. And I mean, could use a content move like this. Maybe like this. Problem is only 2 caps left, so actually I like this farmer here. But it would be dumb. Why not just go for this 6-point field with 2 caps? still left on your field as well. Yeah, this way is of course better, as one of the caps is a dagger, and this way can't be blocked from the left side. So this here could have led to a situation like that, where this square is dead. Yellow sets up another monastery square, which would be perfect for them, liberating the one with another for a healthy 7 points, which would push them in the lead, albeit very narrowly. Blue put this quadruple city over here with the hopes of killing this square to prevent the connection here. Although yellow quite likely would connect up top, as that would be the bigger gain. Now we'll see the kill here. And at +7, with 2 versus 1 meeples in hand, it for sure looks like blue should win this one, but chances for yellow are still there. Drawing a monastery, drawing these caps would sure help. Also connection up top, and by the way, this city could still be closed and even be closed by any of these two. Yeah, although it's unlikely with only one DrCaiHan2020 still in the deck, but it could happen. For example, like this here. Or like this. No, this doesn't work. There's the monastery, but in blue's hands. Only one to go. And yellow needs it right now. Right now. Blue gets a dagger to score 7 points. This square now is dead, so they don't have to fear yellow connecting to their field. And this then should be it. Maybe protecting the monastery square. No, actually like this. And there's nothing to go here except for the monastery, of course. But even then, still be down 5 points. Can't attack the city. Well, they go for the 1 pointer. Maybe with the hope of attacking this field, but that's just not enough at -11. Scoring these 12 points, then blue just needs to take a 2-pointer somewhere, which should be possible with all tiles. So precision would be to kill this monastery square. You could also just close your road. I think you should be safe anyway. Because, yeah, even if yellow would get the monastery attacking the field, wouldn't work, I think. because blue could either kill the attack with the horse or the cow, depending on which way you'd execute it. And you'd need to first draw the monastery, of course. Yeah. So both trading uneventful moves in the end. Vadzimir might still get the monastery to use it for 8 points up top, but that just doesn't cut it. Still not enough. Aki could decide to take the 5 points now or just add 1 to the ruin. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but they don't have the luxury of automatic point scoring and tile tracking. So they just have to take their time. And sure enough, they do opt to add 1 point. Yellow still doesn't get the monastery, would score 3 points somewhere. Could now no, yellow attack this field here. It's unblockable. 50-50 shot for 12 points. Unblockable because for it to be successful, they need the curve, and blue just can't block with the monastery. But getting the monastery for blue would be worth 8 points, and then it would be a 6-point win for blue in the end. Let's see if yellow finds this option and actually goes for it. Else taking 3 points and hoping for the 8-point monastery would lead to closer score, actually, because then blue would just take 4 points. So this then would be a 3-point win for blue, not a 6-point win. So unless I missed something, it should be the best option or better option. They go for the field attack and get blocked. Or not, because it doesn't matter. Why block if you have the connection piece in hand? So 4 points. Anything else? Well, we'll see. Sadly, not as suspenseful as the first 2 games, or let's say the first 5 games of this stream. Although the second between DrCaiHan and Natpeera wasn't even close. Yeah, Vadzimir spoils it. Okay, blue takes 3 points in the end. Quite likely decided they don't like to count. Like he knew, okay, this here hits a square. And it's okay, it's doesn't matter. A win is a win is a win. So congratulations to Aki Stack. Let's take a quick look at their bracket as well. So these two over here, Vadzimir will move to the lower bracket, Aki Stack to the semifinals. I'm not familiar with 94 rest. I never even. No, I don't think I have saw that nickname anywhere else before. So do not waste my time. The seeded player in this duel for sure should be a huge favorite to reach the semifinals versus Aki, which will then be two players of roughly the same level, I'd say. Not sure if Do Not Waste My Time has reached the master level yet. Bottom part, my teammate Karabujan yesterday was able, well, to force a slight upset at least by Neria, master from Chile. And Sporter versus David will be an interesting match later tonight. I might cover this if no one else does. I'm not sure whether Lexi might be able to cover this or not. We'll see. So subscribe if you want to know, because the indication of streams here right now is a bit buggy. So I will definitely cover Nallerheim, not new at this, in less than 3 hours from now. Plus, if these two don't play very slow, I might catch the mid or end of Luste versus Big Nacho 610. That's more or less the same as we had now, with half an hour difference between the starting times. Again, Sporter David 44, I might know later today, else just tune in at the time here, whatever this is in your time zone, to check out. Someone will stream it. Upcoming days, we'll see. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to schedule streams with days in advance, because these get scheduled sometimes on quick notice. So I'd rather wait for at least the evening before a date, or maybe even the morning of a specific day, to schedule my streams, as then the picture is way more clearer than 2 or 3 days earlier. So that then is it. I see you for the duel of Nallerheim and Not New at this later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.